Hello Aries, Joe here for your March 2021 General Tarot reading. This is an open reading, Aries, which means it's not focused on any topic specific. It's whatever wants to come through. It's up to the spirit and the cards to bring out the message, and hopefully I can interpret that in a way that fits with your situation, your story. But if not, don't worry. There's always another message at another time that might be better suited for you, okay? Because obviously you can't read for an entire collective and expect it to ring true with everybody. Okay, so we're going to do just a basic open reading here. I'm going to pull some angel cards and some oracle cards, and then we're going to pull some tarot cards, and we're going to talk about what is your story for March 2021. It's hard to believe after everything we've been through in the last year that we're already coming on March. This is a busy time for you, Aries. Definitely seems like a busy time with what's coming out, but let's wait for the tarot, okay? You have love your challenges and chop wood. So, two cards of being busy and taking on new things, taking on challenges. All right, Aries. A blessing on your family. So, Aries, your focus might be on your family, taking care of your family, and making sure everybody has everything they need, making sure that everybody's cared for. You might be working hard. You might be putting in a lot of hours at work. You might be working on some new ideas or some new project. But either way, love your challenges is about embracing everything that comes our way, even the stuff that we find disagreeable. You know, sometimes it's just what we have to do. But Aries, let's pull some tarot cards and we'll see how these cards line up with your story. Okay. All right, Aries. The center of it all, the Page of Pentacles. Your challenge is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, Three of Pentacles, Aries. For your subconscious. The near future, the Magician. Oh, your goal, what you consider to be the best outcome, the Hanging Man. And your recent past, King of Wands, Aries. So let's get into this here. We got 4 more cards and we're going to talk about this. 6 of Wands. And 5 of Swords, external influences. 9 of Swords. And the overall outcome, Aries. 3 of Swords, and bottom of the deck you have the 9 of Pentacles. Aries, I feel that you have been working very hard through a difficult time. Obviously the collective in general has been going through a hard time. This hasn't been an easy year, and it hasn't been it hasn't been like business as usual. This has been a challenging time. So I see you kind of worried about your stability, your finances, your home life, and I think that you're working very hard to maintain things as if nothing had come and upset your life circumstances. So you may be providing for children and whatnot. Some of you might be a single mother, single father, or one of you, if you're married, might be unemployed, and so you're having to do the extra to bring in what you need to keep everything going, keep everything in flow, keep everything in flux. So the 9 of Pentacles is all about that hard work and expecting that reward in return, okay? And it's not like a reward like you did something good and you get a badge of honor. It's just like getting something back for your hard work, right? But the Page of Pentacles is your circumstance for March. And your challenge is the Knight of Wands. I think you've been working very hard, being very diligent about your work life, your stability, perhaps your career, and you've been very, very careful to not squander your finances. And I think that at times you might struggle with the needs of others in your family and feel a little bit of guilt because you can't do some of the things you used to be able to do. But the Knight of Wands is the card of perseverance. This is your challenge, and your challenge is to keep the course, maintain the course, Aries, because in that is there is a reward in what you're doing. And you may feel like in March that you've been going at this a long time this way, and you haven't quite found haven't quite found the end of the road or the light at the end of the tunnel. But that light at the end of the tunnel is coming here for you pretty soon, Aries. Things are going to lighten up. The King of Wands in your recent past and the Knight of Wands, you've been very determined and very focused. You've been taking action. That's been your energy, is to keep working at what you're doing, to be relentless and to not give up, Aries. And your determination is actually paying off for you. You might sometimes wonder if what you're working for with the Three of Pentacles is going to bear fruit with this Nine of Pentacles. It's like, is all this hard work going to bring through? What I'm hoping is that long-lasting stability. But Aries, I see, the way I see this is like this is a short-term delay, and that's the Hangman is here. It's like the things have been kind of the same. It's been the same grind. It's been the same thing day after day. Perhaps you felt like that. And I'm going to skip ahead here because the thing that worries you the most is the Nine of Swords here. You're worried about that with the Hangman. It's like, is this going to be the way things are from now on? And so that's something that concerns you. And you're worried also because you have the Five of Swords in your external environment, and that Five of Swords, you're worried about what's going to come up next, what's going to happen next that you have to take care of that's unplanned. Like, what's the next unplanned obstacle that I got to somehow make sure I can take care of? Am I going to have the money? Am I going to have the resources? Am I going to have what I need or the energy to handle another problem? And so that's kind of been the way things have been for you for some time. But Aries, you have a lot of support in like the spiritual sense, and I see that coming through here. And it's like the Six of Wands is this is your advice. This is really about maintaining that focus, because this is ultimately the light at the end of the tunnel. It's finally coming out on top and being able to pump the brakes on what you've been doing for probably well over a year, is trying to keep up, just trying to maintain things and not to slip behind. And so the advice here is, with the Six of Wands, is realizing that if you just stay the course, at some point here very soon, you're going to be able to pump the brakes. You're going to be able to pull back and not have to exert yourself nearly as much. I didn't talk about the near future though. You have the Magician here, Aries. So, in all of your challenges and all the things you've had to take on and overcome in the last several months, I think you've learned a thing or two, that if you maintain your focus and maintain your focus on your desired outcome rather than the current circumstances, how they make you feel emotionally, if you maintain a focus on your desired outcome, you're seeing a shift in how things play out, and things really do feel much easier. And things do seem to flow much easier when you focus on your desired outcome and not on the current circumstances. When I say focus on your desired outcome, it doesn't mean obsessing over what you want. It's just remembering that in the moment you're working toward an outcome that you know that you're going to receive. And I feel that you're going to receive that because your hard work isn't going unnoticed here. And we're going to get into that in just a second, Aries. But let's see here. We have the Three of Swords. I really want to caution you when I talk about this card. I think this Three of Swords here, this isn't like, you know, this is in the kind of like the overall outcome. And I will pull a couple clarifiers here, but I don't feel like the outcome is that feeling of defeat. I think the outcome is when you finally reach the end of the road, it's going to be time for you to take a break. There's going to be a level of exhaustion that's going to kind of probably come over you just a bit, because it's like you've been running on adrenaline for a while, and you've been running on the necessity to just keep going. And I feel like you're going to need a little time to yourself once you finally feel things let up. And I do feel like things start to let up quite a bit in March. I don't think that you see that complete end of the road with the current course you've been on in March altogether, but it's like the signs point to the hard work actually leading to a change in your circumstances. With the Six of Wands, it's like things lighten up. There is a change in your overall environment in March, but it's not the complete change quite yet. I think there's still, you have just a little bit of ways to go, but you're not far off. This really here, this chopped wood, is like, just remember to remain focused. This is a busy time for you, and you have to just remember that sometimes it's okay to get lost in our work, because that's how some of us just get through the day-to-day grind. Sometimes it's just like, if we just get lost in our work and put our mind on other things while we're busy doing our work, we can just get through it, and we can just keep persevering. This is a challenging time, no doubt, because Love Your Challenges is coming up, but I do want to stress here, like I said, the Three of Swords is not the actual outcome. The Three of Swords, again, I feel like is just that adrenaline hangover you get once you finally get over this big hump. And I think this is saying that you're going to need time for some self-care, especially the Hanged Man in the kind of the, like, what you would consider to be the best outcome for you is like a time out, a time to do nothing, and having to not having to actually tend to anything, being able to have a breather, take a break. It's like you want things to just stand still for a few moments, so you can just regroup and re-energize. And I think that Three of Swords is kind of like, to me, represents some kind of like adrenaline hangover. You've been, burning the midnight oil and going at it for so long that when things finally do slow down for you, and you're able to get that time out, that break, you might need to just really take care of yourself for a few days and just take some time off, take some time away. You have the Three of Wands. So you have the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Swords here. So I think that you might have a tendency once things lighten up, because the Three of Wands, it's like, it's the card of looking forward to the future. And I think that you finally get to have a break, and you get to see that your hard work is actually producing something. Your hard work is actually getting you somewhere. Though like I said, I feel like you've had an extra burden put on you over the last year or so, but you have the card of looking forward, and it's like you could see the ships coming into harbor. So that better things are coming your way, and it's not that far off. But the Page of Swords here, it's like you might have a tendency to doubt that, because you've been going at it for so long. And I wouldn't just caution against being prone to negativity, because I think that's just something we do when we've been kind of going for so long, and then when we finally get a break, when we finally start to see things turn around, we tend to have a little bit of self-doubt. Like we're waiting for we're waiting for something to come up to kind of ruin it, And so I think the Page of Swords is like you're expecting, something to happen. And in that, I think that you have to remember that this is a time for you to let go of some things. You can put some things down, and you don't have to work so hard at things anymore, especially the Two of Pentacles showing up here too. It's like you can put down a burden or two. You can put down something that you don't don't need to do anymore. So if you've taken on an extra job or you've taken on extra responsibility, extra hours, you're able to put that down. I think this is saying to you, it's like you're going to have to force yourself to relinquish something in your life because it's not a necessity anymore. And so it's time for that to come through for you, probably in March. You know, it really is all about that adrenaline hangover and being able to do, forcing yourself to take a break, take a time out, relax, you know, that self-care that you need. And the Page of Swords, again, it's like, to me, I feel this card intuitively is saying that you might have a tendency to question, like, is this really okay for me to take time away, to take time out? And is it okay for me to put something down? You might be afraid to put something down because that extra something that's kind of worn you to, your fingers to the bone has sustained you. But there isn't a need to carry that any longer. You've worked very hard, Aries. You've done everything you could possibly do and then some. And this is saying it's time for you to just pull back a little bit. Once I think March concludes, it's like it's time for a wrap. And this is all about that blessing on you and your family and all your hard work. And it's time to take a break. You get to reflect on your challenges because I think in those challenges, like you kind of really had a test of your endurance and your determination. And I think that you get a lot of time for reflection once this kind of wraps up for you sometime in March. I think you do get that break for sure. But this is saying right now, again, the chop wood, it's like you're almost there. You just have to finish the last little leg of the race, Aries, moving ahead. And you're going to be okay. I think that overall, you know, you are coming to an end of the grind. I feel like this is like really just burning the candle at both ends, and you're getting to the end of that. It's not something you have to do anymore in March. You know, once March finally wraps up, it's like you get to put something down. You don't have to carry it with you anymore. You get to put a burden down, Aries, which lightens your load. And I think that ultimately it's you get to see the big picture in the end, Aries. So yeah, you know, I think that this is all about that hard work and perseverance, determination, the sheer will to overcome, and that strength that you have in your spirit and your soul to just fight and keep going. And you fought the good fight, and then the reward is coming out of this for you. You finally get to take it easy a little bit, Aries. So Aries, that's your reading. You know, if this is your story, let me know. Leave a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If this was for you, I'd appreciate you just giving me the feedback, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.